Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. I'm Trizzy.
And I'm Leah.
We are two voices, two views, and two ways to adventure anywhere.
Yes, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the past year of your support. I can't believe we're closing out 2021. We're about to move on to 2022. And this is our last episode of the year. Our little duet episode. Just the two of us. Maybe
we got the harmony wrong there.
But we would not be able to create the amazing content that we do without the support and the love that we feel from every single one of you around the world. Thank you so much for being there for us, being supportive, and it's been a lot of fun learning what you want to hear from us on the show. So we just wouldn't be here without you. And if you'd like to continue to support us so we can bring you the best travel content that we can come up with, here are 4 very specific ways. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We would absolutely love that. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you literally have to do is search Ticket 2 anywhere in the search bar on YouTube. Hit the red button, and then you'll be first to know about when we drop a new video. You can also donate any monetary donation to our Buy Me a Coffee account to, continue to support us that way. And you can also share your favorite episode with a friend. Those are the easiest ways to support Ticket to Anywhere podcast.
Cheers to that.
Yes. Where that?
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Salud.
Hey, what do you got drinking?
So I went to this Black-owned cafe out in Playa Vista in Los Angeles called Cafe Rasseau. Super, super cute. And I got a spiced cinnamon vanilla coffee latte with oat milk.
I've been there a few times. The atmosphere is amazing. The drink I usually get is the almond milk matcha latte. Really good.
Ooh.
And their croissant, their spinach, Swiss
Ooh,
croissant.
I saw that.
So good.
I got a marble coffee cake today. Lemon blueberry. Yeah, it was really good.
That sounds bomb.
It was really good.
Sounds bomb.
And your tea?
The tea I'm sipping on today is from Percolate. It's a lavender green tea.
Ooh,
yeah,
yum.
and this is the little loose leaf thing that we got going
Love
on there.
it. Love lavender tea. From Percolate, also in LA, also like West Side.
Yeah, West Side. They just opened up one in the South Bay. So if you guys are in Del Amo Mall, go check it out there. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I was
They're like
okay,
boba.
branch.
Aren't they like boba also? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And we have a special guest today. This is little Cause Snoopy. Why are you laughing?
I was like, who's our guest?
Unprepared guest. Sorry. You guys, for those of you listening, which is literally 99% of you, she looked around the room and was like, who is our guest?
I was like, do we have a surprise guest? Like, is this a celebrity? Am I going to faint? Is Russell Westbrook going to hop into her?
Wow, how is Russell Westbrook the first celebrity?
Because I feel like I've overused Beyonce and Adele.
I love that. But I love it because it's like so specific. Is Russell Westbrook going to pop out from behind the curtain? No, we have a little black Snoopy. Look how cute he is. Mm-hmm. Well, those of you listening can't see him, but like just pop onto YouTube. You'll be able to see him. Yeah. He's super cute.
Leah is obsessed.
I'm obsessed. I was telling Trizzy I slept with a stuffed animal till I was 24 years old, which I literally have no regrets about because I had the whole Finding Nemo stuffed collection.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I just got too old because they kept ending up on the floor every morning. So it was like, I think this is my body saying like, all right, you're too old for a stuffed animal. Like my body didn't want to cuddle them anymore,
You just pass it down to baby girl.
I do. I still have them.
Oh,
I don't know.
cute.
I wouldn't get rid of them. Yeah. But I still have them. But end of year episode. We have so many end of year thoughts.
Yeah. Because a lot has happened within this 12 months.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we've been like traveling in a time where travel is not like a prominent thing.
Yeah.
Or we're missing it so much, or we're not technically encouraged to travel.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like the whole theme of this year, traveling in a year where no one's really traveling.
It's a full year of the pandemic because last year,
Crazy.
it happened in March. And so I think what happened in 2020 was we were kind of dipping our toes into the water, like, can we travel
Right.
this pandemic?
And we still went to Mexico in October of last year anyway.
And then after, there was just like 2021, it's new. We're hoping everything's going to settle down. We feel a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need a mask outside, but I kind of still wear my mask.
Yeah.
But it got comfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tad
bit. I think the rules and restrictions were laid out a little bit more, and people were like, okay, what category do I fall into, right? Mm-hmm. But we have a couple of thoughts. Okay, so I think the biggest one that you and I can both agree on that is so unlike us is the fact that we're planning and booking last minute, which drives us both insane. Up the wall.
Yeah. Heart attacks, stress, anxiety, running high. I can't do that.
Yeah. It's like what is the fastest you book? Okay, maybe not like, what's the fastest you booked like a flight this year? Or the closest?
Flight? Ooh,
yeah, because the road trips are easier. You can just like take off,
exactly.
Right?
Well, kind of. But with that, we'll dive into that.
Okay.
But with the flights, the fastest, I honestly thought my Finland flight was really quick. Like, or it didn't give me enough time to really, it was
process.
like a month and a half. For an international flight, and that's not what I usually do. Yeah. I give myself at least 3 months.
Yeah.
For me to be like, okay, I'm gonna book it right now.
But so how did that make you nervous?
It made me nervous because after the flights, it's the hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, where am I staying? Like, are these hotels, am I jeopardizing quality because I'm in such of a hurry to book something to make me feel at ease? You know? Mm-hmm. So I did not like any of that feeling at all. So that would be my quickest as far as like international.
Okay.
But I think we did book Maui. The hotel with Maui was probably about like 2 weeks out.
I think I remember you telling me that actually. Yeah. That was like June.
So much.
Well, because weren't you figuring out like who you're going to stay with and what, like there were other things going on, right? So you didn't.
With Maui was just like, we had Oahu like 2 weeks prior.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So it was just no time to plan anything. And with work, it's always crazy and busy.
Yeah.
And with us trying to push the podcast and stuff like that, we just like had ideas of the Wahoo this whole entire year. So every time we thought about something, we wanted to jump on that idea. Mm-hmm. So that took a lot of time from planning vacations and booking flights, booking hotels. So yeah.
Super last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Everything was last minute for me this year, which is kind of crazy.
Super last minute.
Yeah, I mean, London was booked, 3 weeks in advance. But I don't know why I wasn't so nervous. Probably because this is my third time to London. You know? Yeah. So I'm like, I've done a lot of the touristy things. This was more of a trip to hang out with friends, surprise Kate for her 30th birthday. So I wasn't really stressing too much. Finland is a different story. And for those of you listening, we're super excited because our first 2 episodes of next year, 2022, we're doing destination focused, one on Finland and one on working remotely in London. So you got to stay tuned for those ones. So we'll try not to spill too much in this end of year.
Go easy.
But planning and booking last minute, even when I was backpacking through South America and going to Thailand, for some reason, I'm okay with planning and booking last minute when I'm already on the road.
Oh, okay.
Backpacking, I'm oh yeah, let me switch plans, let me switch it up, let me do whatever. But I don't know, maybe being at home for so long and then planning booking last minute was just now I gotta crunch how many weeks of whatever into a condensed amount of time of planning. Yeah. But I know we're not a fan of that. And honestly, I feel that it's gonna be the same for the next year or 2.
That's true. And I think part of the reason why was because we were working from home. Mm-hmm. We were working remotely. So we thought, or at least I thought, if I book a flight for, next week and not tell anybody, they won't know I'm working from there.
Right. Right.
So it's a blessing in disguise, I guess.
Right. But yeah, something different for us this year.
Mm-hmm. And the thing with me is research is so important for me. Mm-hmm. I pride myself on doing research. And because that I felt like I didn't do or give it enough time, that caused a lot of stress too.
Yeah, I can see that because like, you know, so everyone's so different, but yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't last minute planners. So I wonder how they fared this year. I want to hear from y'all. Yeah. Drop us a line. Yeah. On YouTube, Instagram, wherever, and tell us, you know, what happened with your last minute travels this year. One thing that I never used to do ever is book direct.
No.
Ever. Were you a direct booker before pandemic?
I was half and half.
Really?
Yeah.
When were you, pre-pandemic, when were you a direct booker?
When it was just one-way flights, if I was booking one-way flights, and I found that it was cheaper sometimes that way.
Okay.
Yeah. But if it was a round trip that was cheaper on Orbitz, then I would book through Orbitz.
Okay. And I feel like for me, it was always a third party that was going to be cheaper, even by like $5. And I'd be like, let me book it on another platform because I'm going to save me a latte, y'all, you know? That goes for excursions, hotels, car rentals, flights, everything. I was such a non-direct booker. But what had happened with the pandemic is that like if you book direct, they can guarantee you refunds. They can guarantee you
no late fees.
No late fees or
no
like
cancellation.
No
fees.
cancellation. Exactly. They can guarantee you that. And now I see the value of it. And like with the whole movement, like the last decade of like supporting small business and supporting business directly. Yeah. I so see that and I so support it now. So now I'm more keen to book direct, except yesterday I did make a mistake, or the other day I did make a mistake. I booked direct into a hotel in Los Angeles because I thought it was going to be cheaper, but I have a Novo bank card that gives me 4% back on, this was using booking.com. Gives me 4% back through Rakuten. And then it gives me 6% back on my bank card. Ooh. So 10% back, right? And I was like, literally comparing it down to the dime. And I booked direct thinking, I was like, direct is cheaper, so I guess I'll forego this 10%. But then they added like the last second a $5 charge. So it ended up being more expensive. I was mad.
Oh, hell
no. And then literally this is the other day I was like, I'm never booking direct ever again for anything.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was like, I'm always going to go for booking.com's discounts now. It was so sad. Booking.com, you hear that? Hear how much I love you?
No, that's so true. And
I was mad.
Like, if you're booking hotels through third party, you don't get the points. Just FYI. You'll get the Orbucks back, but it's not going to be Orbucks, Rakuten, and then the IHG points.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. Like me, my offers at the time were just a straight cash back. And I was like, okay, I'm down to get 10% back because I was getting 10% total. Yeah. And they were the exact same price, but then the direct booking, that was sneaky. That was sus. How are you going to slap a $5 extra charge on there?
That was a credit card transaction fee or something? Or
I don't know what it was, girl. They're like, let's see if we can sneak it in. Let's do it. And then it was like, hell no. I was so mad.
Damn.
I know, because I spent like minutes like looking, I'm like comparing.
Right.
You know.
I feel you. And we did have a discussion. We were like, we're more immediate savings. Like we think that way.
Yes. We did have this important discussion about how we want instant gratification like the millennials we are.
Yeah.
And we want to save right now.
Exactly.
We don't want to wait a month for points to kick in or some BS like that.
It's like, do you want to keep accumulating with IHG hotels or do you look at how much you could save now?
Yes. So, and we want it right now. We want it yesterday.
Come on now. I will have to plug in there though. This year, I've never canceled or changed my flights so many times. Like, I felt comfortable with doing it.
Wait, when did you change and cancel things this year?
Well, it was just like the more of the domestic flights and stuff like that. Like, if I were doing like Seattle, if I was doing...
Did you cancel and change some stuff this year? I don't remember.
I feel like I did. I can't like think of which one at the top of my head, but... Alaska. Remember how we were supposed to go to Alaska first? instead of
You
Finland.
had a flight booked already?
We had a flight booked and everything. But I felt so comfortable in booking that, knowing if I had to cancel or change it, then I would do it.
And you booked through Alaska Air? Okay.
Yeah, because I get
well, you're like
back.
elite status
I
with
am,
like
actually.
Alaska.
I hit elite status.
Did you really?
I did.
You
I
hear
feel
that,
like-
Alaska?
yeah.
Alaska, you hear that?
Yeah, I know. They bumped me up to like first class twice, and it was just like amazing.
What?
Yeah,
Because
that
that's what
2-hour
you
flight?
fly home to Seattle.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
and you've been doing that for over a decade.
Exactly. So it was about time.
Yeah.
No, and so yeah, I just felt fine canceling or changing, because before I'll just be like, I'll make it work. You know.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, I'll make it work. But because they give us that flexibility in getting it as a credit, then you could just, play around with it.
Yep. I feel like the flights I buy are cheap enough that if I miss them for whatever reason, it's like and it's a wash, then it's fine. Because I did that quite a few times in South America. I don't think I missed or rescheduled any flights this year though, actually.
Oh, nice.
Or well, I did in London, but that's for the London episode, and that was actually a disaster. That was not a fun time.
I noticed that you've been staying in hotels more this year, though.
Yeah, which is like so weird of me.
From the hostels to the hotels.
I know. And I like asked my social media internet friends, like, is this the end of hostel party girl Leah? I don't know. What do we think? Yeah, I think and I knew of this term, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really embodying it this year. Like flash packing, basically like a backpacker, but also likes to be bougie every once in a while.
Oh, damn. These terms are
terms.
Flash
So now I'm
packer.
like technically like I consider myself a bougie backpacker sometimes. But I also think the way we've been spending our money has changed a little bit too, you know? So maybe there's been some like extra cash that's been saved up for traveling that we haven't been using as much, which is why I've been so comfortable being like, I need to book into a hotel. And then I had a hotel situation in London that will also be shared on the London episode. So keep your eye out from that. I'm not going to divulge too much now.
No, I'm antsy.
Yeah. But I mean, even Airbnb I stayed in this year for like 5 days down in San Diego. It was just definitely getting older.
That's true. Side note about Airbnb. All right, so if you guys have checked Rakuten, they're not on Rakuten. If you guys do the Alaska mileage shopping like me, and they're not on there, but it's because they have a partnership with Delta. So
Airbnb does?
Airbnb. So for every $1 you spend on Airbnb and you're going through Delta Sky Miles shopping, you will get a mile back. So keep that in mind. Usually, I booked through Airbnb a few times. It's never my first choice.
Me either. I was gonna,
I'm more of a hotel person. So, and I always notice on Rakuten, they never have anything. And I was just randomly decided to just Google all the airlines. Okay. And Airbnb together, and then see whatever popped up. Delta popped up. So,
wow.
Yeah. Game
Hot
changer,
tip.
y'all. Game changer.
Dude, what's going on with my hair? That's interesting. That's a really good like search tactic.
Yeah.
Look at you. Okay.
Helping y'all.
All right. So our favorite topic, credit cards. You know how obsessed I've been with them lately.
Leah did her thing this year, girl.
I joined the Amex Club.
Amex.
I joined Club Amex and I'm super proud of myself because I've come a long way. Clean myself up, clean my credit history up. And so not Amex Plat Club, just the gold card.
That's still something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But when you are approved for American Express, you're approved, you never have to apply again.
Oh.
Well, you have to apply, but like
it'll just be like
it doesn't credit check you. Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I feel like it's kind of changed the way I look at everything this year.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like looking through portals. How can I adjust my spending so that I can move it over to cards that give me points. You know, I'm finally treating it like a debit card and paying things off consistently. Like I feel like it's taken me years, half a decade or something, to catch up with everyone else as far as like how to use credit cards to travel wisely.
Yeah.
And I'm finally doing it. Like even in London, talking with people about how like we're so obsessed with our points, and everyone's like, yeah, you guys are, and it like doesn't work the way it doesn't work that way anywhere else in the world. You know, there are some cards in London that or in like the UK that give points, but it's nothing like the systems we have in the US.
Yeah.
And while we're also obsessed with like, oh, you know, every time you're at dinner or lunch, someone's trying to pay. Yeah. They're like, let me pay, I get points. It's like, yeah, everyone gets points.
Everybody needs points.
Everyone needs points.
But who will not ask for a Venmo? You gonna pay the whole thing? All right, pay the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And even like the perks of credit cards, like I'm noticing like little things, the little brands that I buy with, like through Amex, through their portal. You know, if I want to like buy something at Milk Bar, I get X amount back. Pete's Coffee, I get X amount back. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like if you spend X amount, you get X amount back. So just you know, and it's opened my eyes up to like, oh, what other travel credit cards can I afford at this time? Afford as in like, you know, am I spending enough money to even put on these cards, right?
Yeah.
With like the newest one, Capital One Venture X.
Yes.
That 100,000 point sign up bonus, but 10K in 6 months.
10K in 6 months. Who do they think we are?
I'm like collecting things. I'm like, yo, can I buy this for you?
Right, yeah.
You're going to help me when I get it.
Yeah. I know. I got big purchases that Leah could make for me.
I feel like our expenses aren't that high during the pandemic.
Definitely
not. But yeah, did you open any new cards this year? Or were you looking into anything?
I was looking into a lot just because, you know, the Amex. I looked into it as well. But I can't really justify the annual, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, the Venture X card that you just mentioned, we had this discussion. And I was like, man, it looks nice. But yeah, 10K within 6 months. And then how much is it? Like $500 a year or something?
$400
$400 a year. And then you get $300 travel credit back, right? Annually.
Yep.
That's good. But the thing is, like, if you're getting most of their benefits, you have to purchase or book through their portal.
Yes. And you don't know what the portal is like until you get the card.
Right, yeah. And it's like, is it going to be more expensive than Orbitz? Which I have like a really good loyalty with them.
Yeah, instant gratification, remember? We don't want to wait to find out. But basically the bottom line I'm hearing is that, you know, Capital, and we are not credit card connoisseur. There are other excellent podcasts that will go into depth on credit cards and whatnot. But I'm hearing the overall gist that like it's a good card to have if you don't already have like global entry, TSA pre-check, if you don't already have lounge access, those types of things, which I don't. So I'm like, this could be the one. And now the problem is getting approved.
But you got approved, so hey.
I know, but Credit Karma's telling me something. Credit Karma's telling me something else. And I'm like, man,
Credit Karma. What you doing, Credit Karma?
I know. So I'm like, my worst fear is to like try to apply and then get rejected because I feel like that will drop my score that I've worked so hard the past few years to build back up.
Totally.
So, but we'll see. I'm not gonna go crazy and try to get like 1 billion credit cards now. But I just think like just getting the Amex Gold and getting on that train and being opened up to this world of like points.
Yeah.
Girl, it's been life changing.
And you spent it. You spent the points wisely.
Well, I spent it like I did spend the points. I bought a flight or I didn't buy a flight, but I got, I already used up the points, and it's funny because I hit my minimum in like 2 months.
Easy.
I know Janine was like, you were ready, girl. I was like, I was ready. So as far as like changing travel rules, I mean, they've been changing literally weekly for the past almost 2 years. But with us being able to travel like truly internationally this year, right? It felt like for me, and you tell me what it felt like, but it felt like it was like the rules were different for vaccinated folks versus unvaccinated folks.
Oh yeah, totally. People who were vaccinated, they were able to, take tests within 3 days. Like you have 3 flexible days. And it's 3 calendar days. I don't think it's 72 hours anymore.
Correct.
But if you're not vaccinated, you only have 1 day. Yeah.
And in most places, you had to have quarantine. Right? And who has time to quarantine? Who has money to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel? Like, I literally had a friend opt out of going to London from Dubai. She and her husband live in Dubai because she said, if we come back with COVID from London, and she was like, this was a few weeks ago, she's like, they're going rogue right now. Oh. And if we come back, I literally cannot afford a hotel in Dubai.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
So I was like, she's like, should I reconsider? And I'm like, honestly, if you're that worried, I urge you to reconsider. She did sound very concerned. So I was like, don't take the risk. Like, London will still be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
The rules are still changing. I mean, even from 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, London has different, the UK has different rules now, slightly different rules now. And then coming back in, new rule announced the other day that we have... Wait, I thought they were proposing it. Is it actually a rule?
I think it's actually a rule. So no matter what your vaccination status is, you just have 1 day to take the test. And it has to be negative. And I'm not going to lie to you, after almost 2 years of this, I do not know the difference between a PCR and an antigen test. I'm just like, if it's negative and the US accepts it, okay, let's go. Okay. I can't with you right now. We're on this serious topic of getting tests, vaccination, and you want to TikTok on me?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
that
gosh.
Was perfect.
But yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, it seems okay. You can laugh about it all you want. No, I'm kidding. It just seems to me, if you want your life to be easier when you're traveling around the world in a time where travel is, there's a lot of red tape. It's like, get vaccinated.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, try going to another country and tell me what the rules are for you.
Seriously. So during this 2021 of me traveling, prior to it, I had a dedicated rental car company that I would go to, which was National. And they always had like the best prices for me, which included insurance, and it was just the easy check-in, check-out. You literally just pick it up from the airport, you choose your car, and then you drive to the exit, and then they'll check you out there. Yeah. Super easy. This year, I don't think I ever got to book with National because rental cars were super expensive.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They were less available at the airports if you're booking last minute, which a lot of the times happened. And it's just hard to find a rental car picking up at the airport, which sucked for me. And that was my experience, which was just so annoying because I had loyalty with National, but because, the prices were really expensive and the cars were unavailable, I had to go through like orbits to see what the next best price is and availability. And sometimes it's hard to find a company that will let you pick up and drop off at a different location.
Sometimes it's hard. Are you talking about like Hawaii, or are you talking
I'm talking about Hawaii. I booked Vegas for the New Year's. Yeah. And the flights were just super expensive from from Vegas to LA because I'm flying in from Seattle. And
you're going to Vegas for New Year's?
After New Year's.
Surprise, shawty. We're always revealing new facts.
I know, right?
Facts
on the... basically we're flying from Seattle to Vegas and then driving from Vegas to LA because
okay.
the flights are super expensive, and
wow,
they rental cars are $100 a day.
Oh my! Probably for like a freaking compact like Nissan Versa
exactly.
type
from like
car
the most basic.
that used to be like $30 a day. Back in the day.
Exactly.
Jeez.
So yeah, we're only doing Vegas for like 2 calendar days, or no, 3 calendar days. So
that's cool though.
But
Vegas during the winter. Me and Janine were literally just talking about a lot of people. I feel like this sidebar uncommon, but like Southern Californians actually like Vegas during the winter.
Hell yeah!
It's like it's very different. There's no pool parties going on. You get to do like shows and food, and it's just a different vibe. But we like it during the winter. So
it's all about the Red Rocks too. You go off the strip.
Oh yeah, for sure, because the weather's still generally pretty nice.
So nice there, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
no loyalty, huh?
Car. Yeah, so I rarely had any loyalty to rental cars this year.
That's so interesting. I'm not a huge rental car person. Like, I rent cars for the most random things, but it's never on vacation. It's never on vacation, I feel like. Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, that was my experience. And I did, hop on one of Christine's episodes talking about Oahu.
Yeah.
And how ridiculous it was. Like we went in June, early June. And then the Uber from the airport to our hotel, which was around Waikiki, was like $80.
That's
one
so
way.
nuts.
One way. So that's why we couldn't find any rental cars at the airport. So we had to Uber, and then the next day we picked up our rental car, which was down the street in Waikiki.
Wow.
Off the airport, yeah. So really, like, these booking last minute things, that's what
driving us crazy.
Yeah.
So another little surprise, I may be going to Hawaii next month. Aloha!
Yeah!
But I've been thinking about how I'm like, obviously it's a different situation to what it was last June, because I did hear tourism did drop a little after they were like, people stopped coming here.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Right? And I didn't know this because I thought it would be the opposite, but Jan, Feb are low season. So I'm actually going during like prime, like a good time to
prime
go.
Low season.
Yeah. And like I'm looking at hotels, we're looking for like maybe 9 to 12 nights. And like you can get a hotel room for like $1,300 for like 9-10 nights.
Oh damn,
that's good, right?
Yeah, that's really good.
And I was like, wait, and I'd be splitting with a friend.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'm like, wait, this is like pretty decent, but I'm worried about rental cars.
Yeah. So you just start looking into it now.
Yeah, definitely.
ASAP.
And we'd be visiting a friend on the ground. Okay. I also don't think we're gonna get a car the whole time.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would say ask the friend who. They live there.
Oh, yeah.
Ask them if they know anybody that's willing to rent their car.
Super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are also thinking we may be working remotely from there too. Hey.
Damn.
Working remotely. Island life. I'm an island, yeah.
Huh? Oahu or Maui?
Oahu. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been to Hawaii in 11 years.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
It will literally, next month will literally be 11 years since I was last there.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
I know. We'll see. We'll hope it works out. By the time you watch our next episodes, I will probably be there, hopefully.
I was in Oahu in January once a few years ago because we had a layover from Japan coming back. And we had like a 7-hour layover, so we just like chilled at Waikiki, and the weather was great.
Yeah. When I went 11 years ago, it was really nice.
And I think because of our experience in Oahu in June, the next time we want to go, we probably want to stay in like North Shore. Even though it's like an hour away, we want to try and just be in like a remote location.
Yeah,
in Hawaii.
Be one with nature and the shrimp trucks.
Yes. This year was probably like the first year I noticed we did places very unknown. Like Finland, everybody knows Finland, but if you're in our circle, people don't know Finland.
Yeah,
like the travel community for sure. They're like Finland, been there, done that. Yeah. You now just went to Finland? Like, yeah, I did. But if you really like dig deep into our circle, like our friends, they were so shocked. They're like, why Finland? Why are you going to Finland? And
be like, excuse me, what trip are you going on?
But like that was really like a new territory for us, and we loved it. And then we camped out in a place called Kernville. Have you heard of Kernville before?
It's in Finland?
No.
Oh,
sorry. Kernville, California.
Is it Kern County?
Kern County, yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard of it.
Well, you've heard of Kern County though, right?
No.
It's like the middle of California.
Middle of California.
Yeah.
And it was so dope that these really like going to these places that I had no expectations. Yeah. Like really blew my mind. And I feel like that's just so something that carries on with me. Like I love just, because discovering and two, when you're doing the research on it, you're just learning so many new things, and you just appreciate the city, appreciate the country, and you're just super excited to be there. So we're gonna try and plan something like as a big group gathering.
Okay.
For Kern.
In Kern.
Because the camping that we did there, I don't know if it's because we went during new moon, so the sky was just dark, and you just saw. Okay. I saw the Milky Way with my naked eye, which is insane because you can't see anything here.
Yeah.
But it was probably one of the craziest night skies that I've seen.
Very cool.
Yeah, different than Joshua Tree, different than like.
Oh, that's really cool. That's good to hear. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, our aim is to always inspire people to like just find more unique things.
Yeah, exactly. So let me know what other random places I can hit up, because I'm all for it.
And like your basic traveler, not so basic no more.
Exactly.
Not so basic.
She's complex. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, going along with Kernville, we drove there, and it wasn't even that far. It was like 2.5 hours, 3.
Yeah.
So, and this whole year we did a lot of like road tripping, camping as well.
Yeah, you did a lot of road tripping, camping.
I started to admire driving. I don't admire driving if it's to work and things like that. But honestly, like
when you're open road, no traffic, it's so different.
It's so different, and I was just loving road trips and felt like driving. That feeling you get when you first start driving, like the age of 16, like I felt that.
Oh,
it's deep, man. It's getting deep.
You did a lot. You did so many road trips this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got back from Arizona, and that was fun.
Yeah. I bet.
It's so lit, man.
I mean, if you don't follow this hustler on
exercise, eat, explore,
you need to.
EAEX. That's my Instagram.
You need to. Yeah. You need to.
Yeah, it's tiring, but it's
someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, and you learn a lot of things of like car camping. Like we probably brought our tent maybe once or twice out of all the camping things that we did. But car camping was really cool, thanks to our Nugget Comfort that we use as our like mattress inside the car.
All right,
and you just learn about like the free camping spots too.
Yeah,
like the BLM, they have a whole bunch of freebies.
That's so cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I'm not one to do that by myself, but that's awesome that you've been doing so much of that this year.
Yeah, it's just good to know, especially since our international flights tend to take up more of our budget. Yep. So our domestic camping trips will be like, very budget friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. And things you can actually plan last minute.
Yeah, I know, great. Right? Yeah, let's show. Alrighty, we are going to get into, I guess, just the duet version of the T2A Q2A, which is the Ticket to Anywhere Quick to Answer segment. And I know it's just the two of us, but we changed up the questions a little bit. Leah, what is your travel advice from this year?
Best travel advice I think I've learned firsthand and from others is for the foreseeable future, look to pre-book anything and everything you can. One of our friends had a situation where she was at the airport and one lounge was closed and she had to pre-book another lounge. So guess what? She didn't get any lounges that day. Yes. I had a situation where I was walking around with a friend. We're going to go to a museum and we ended up not being able to go into the museum because we thought you could walk in. No, you had to pre-book tickets. So everything looked to pre-book. Reservations for restaurants, nice. Shows, things you wouldn't even have to think to pre-book. Entries into like public gardens, like
Yeah.
just look to pre-book.
Even if it's outdoor activities, like there's always like a time slot or something.
100%.
Totally.
Yep, even Hyde Park, Winter Wonderland. I was in London. They never used to do pre-booked tickets until this year.
Wow.
Last year it was closed. This year they're like, you have to have pre-booked.
True that.
Yep. What about you? Best travel advice from this year?
Mine would just be to just go somewhere unknown. Like
Kernville.
Kernville. We even went to Mecca, and we did Mecca, California. We did a really cool hike there.
You repeated it like I understand. Like, I don't know where.
It's like in South San Diego. It's like southeast. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. And then Finland, like I mentioned, very unknown to us. So go somewhere that will wow you because you just have no clue what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we don't know how long we're going to be on this earth. Just, like, try to experience the beauty of all of it, of everything.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what will surprise you.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Trizzy, best travel purchase of the year?
I have two because, like, there's a domestic one and there's an international.
Whoa, okay.
Domestic
girl.
is my Jackery, which in
Yes.
episodes of the gear and the equipment, I did mention that. My Jackery has been one of the best travel equipments I've ever had.
Yes.
And
that's in our gear episode. Check that out.
Yeah.
She expresses all her love for Jackery.
And my international one would be these plastic pouches that I got for my vaccination card because we're going to have to carry our vaccination cards with us.
I bought them too on Amazon. You can literally get them for like, I mean, they're quite expensive for little plastic pouches. They're like $5 for a pack of 5.
Right? Yeah.
But worth it. I gave one to everyone in my family.
Yeah. You need it.
Yeah.
It's a necessity now.
100%.
You don't want to carry that around and then have like the raindrop on it.
You also have a picture of yours, right?
Yeah, I do have it on.
But please tell me, do you have, Health Vana is doing like the digital copy.
Digital?
Yeah, on the in your wallet.
Yeah. I've heard of it, but I haven't.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't signed up for it.
LA County, for those that are living in LA County, Health Vana is doing digital copy for your Apple Wallet of your Vax card as well. So I have that. I have screenshots, my actual Vax card, and the digital copy.
Perfect. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great purchase.
Those were
Purchases.
my two. Yeah. What about you?
The Everlane Weekender bag, which I so wish I had with me. So I bought it for the purpose of London because I went with a huge checked luggage and a weekender bag and then like my school backpack, right? And I had read about this weekender bag. It comes in 3 different colors, like very neutral colors. You can use it. It's really multi-purpose. Like you can carry it to the gym and whatnot, but it has like the shoulder straps and also has like a cross strap. And then it's massive inside. You could literally fit probably like 6 pairs of shoes.
Damn.
I know. Well, if shoes were all you're bringing. But for comparison, like you could fit comfortably, like if you're going away for the weekend, at least 2 pairs of shoes, a bunch of outfits, toiletries. It has 2 water bottle holders inside.
Oh, I love that.
2 massive pockets on the inside that both zip. 1 zippered pocket on the outside, and then 1 sliding pocket that goes over the luggage handle that you can zip the bottom up and it turns into an additional pocket.
Ooh.
And it's water resistant, made from like recycled materials. Probably, honestly, the best $100 I've spent in a while on travel. And I'm like, I don't know how I went on trips without this bag.
You bought it just this year before London?
Yep, I bought it for London. I'm like, I want a durable, like, nice weekender bag. And I'm like, I've heard about this one. Like, let's give it a shout. And I'm just like, I'm obsessed. And it's a beautiful, like, neutral color that matches my luggage, too.
Nice.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it. The brand is Everlane. They're out of San Francisco.
Ooh, and sustainable material. That's always a plus. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Coolo. All right. So what is the biggest lesson you learned from this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of different lessons. Like, it was a weird year for travel, right?
Yeah.
But I was telling Trizzy before we started the show, like, being okay with not traveling. Because I didn't even travel until July. Like, I didn't even go anywhere domestic. Whereas you go on a lot of road trips, you were doing that. Like, I just don't, my car is too old. I can't do that. And I can't just, like, borrow a car to go on a road trip. It's harder for me. So being okay with not traveling and enjoying home. And it's really, we are blessed. It's easy to say when you live in a place like LA or Southern California. It's much easier to be like, oh my gosh, like it's okay to stay home because we have the mountains, we have the desert, we have the beach, we have wine country, we have the city, we have a lot of things.
Yeah.
But knowing that I've done so much traveling in my life, and like it's okay to sit still and chill and explore your own backyard for a while and not get FOMO. Like, especially in the travel community, we want to always be on the move, or we think it's boring to stay home. But it's like, I do believe that you can find beauty in where you are. You just gotta like look a little harder, and you have to be a little bit more open-minded.
Exactly. And you have a niece that you got to spend a lot of time with, and the early ages are the most important.
Oh my god, and she's the cutest.
She's so cute.
This is not my niece, but
yeah.
yes, like being home with family has also been nice as well.
Yeah.
But what about you? Any lesson learned?
Yeah, I would say don't be jealous, be inspired, because there was a few times after the Finland trip and during the Finland trip where people would DM me or text me and just be like, oh, I'm so jealous. And for me, jealous it's negative thing. I see it as a negative, because if you're saying you're jealous, you're already putting yourself in a position where you're not gonna get to Finland, you're not gonna get to Egypt or Australia or wherever, like we want to inspire. So like it would be nice if people would just be like, oh, your trip looks so nice, I'm so inspired. That would be nice for me to hear.
Right.
And then, hearing that word, I'm jealous of you, I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to really push people out of their comfort zone, especially people in our circle who's a little bit more shy when it comes to traveling. Shy or scared to, solo travel or to just leave the country. Like, we want to be those to help inspire rather than to like make somebody jealous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, inspiration helps you get to the place you want to be. Jealousy, you're just moping in that negativity or something like that.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's tough, but that's what we aim to do with the show, is inspire.
So don't be jealous, be inspired.
All right, and then the last one, what was the hardest moment for you this year? Any particular travel moments?
Not anything specific. This is more generalized, but it's like we have to accept the fact that COVID guidelines, COVID restrictions, everything that is a requirement is going to be a part of travel within the next years or even in the long future. It was going to Finland, we had to research a lot, find what paperwork that US needs coming back, and you come across all these articles with different information from this article, and you're just trying to put two and two together, but it doesn't make sense. So you're left with doing all these paperwork, having to print them out, and on top of that, you have to try and find a reliable COVID test source that the U.S. will allow back into the country, and you have to schedule it into your itinerary, which kind of sucks if the testing place is like far or whatever. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that was my moment.
Yeah. I mean, COVID is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. We're just learning to live with it now.
Yeah.
And if that means more restrictions, then that's how it's going to be. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Well, we planned for it.
Exactly.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That's always the hardest part, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
And then hardest moment actually was, I think this is also a big lesson, is like, do what you want to do instead of trying to conform to the group or others, or thinking you need to do something because whoever you're traveling with is doing it. Yeah. So I say this because I had a situation, the first trip I went on this year, which was really late in the year, where I spent money on an Airbnb instead of a hostel, and in my gut I knew this is not what I wanted to do, and the cost was astronomical. Like, it was literally $750 for like 5 days down in San Diego.
Crazy.
And to me, that is just not in my budget, but I felt bad for whatever reason. I felt bad not doing it. And I paid it, and I've regretted it ever since. I hate the fact that I'm talking about it right now, because I literally could have spent $160 instead. So when you think the fact that I could have had $600 extra in my pocket right now actually makes me,
yeah.
But sorry, I just had to throw up on the side a little for those not watching, but it's just because I felt bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember after that trip, I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like, if I want to go off on my own, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my 30s I still think I have to, like, please others. Yeah.
Girl, yes. You remember the situation where I had to spend $1,200 for 3 nights in Cancun? So I totally understand.
You understand, yeah, because that also happened this year too.
So
when you're traveling, do what you feel is right. Like, the whole time I was planning that Airbnb, the whole time I was like, this isn't right. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And I ignored it the entire time, and I still regret it to this day. So if you're not comfortable going on that tour or partying that night or taking this road or paying for that hotel, do not do it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all people please. It's all about the self-care. Take care of yourself first. Love yourself first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's okay to be selfish.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, this was such a great episode. Like, kind of airing everything out. It felt like venting 20. Not even venting. No, it's just like, what? How was travel like so different this year, and how it changed us, and how we were able to travel in an era of not much travel is happening.
Exactly.
Or there's tons of restrictions. So with that, thank you so much for being here with us throughout the entirety of 2021. Some of y'all didn't think we would make it, but here we are, about to dive into 2022 and ready to tackle the new wave of traveling next year. It's different, but it'll probably be different forever. And we, like I said at the beginning, we really couldn't do this without any of you. So we are so, so, so incredibly grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next year.